Hey everybody, welcome to the Monday edition of JT's Bang Bang Plays. Monday, May 10th. We've got a 6-game slate. We're going to talk about the DraftKings pricing here. And first thing to keep in mind, slate starts a little bit earlier today, 6:35 Eastern, so you have about 30 minutes less to make your lineups and make your decisions. And speaking of decisions, we've got a lot of decisions to make on this short little slate that could be reduced to 5 games depending on the weather in Colorado. We're going to do something a little bit different because it's early in the day. We still don't know exactly who's going to start for the Angels and the Marlins. So let's take a little walk through the pitching, shall we? Let's start at the top end and go from top salary to bottom. And right off the bat, we have a decision to make with Alex Wood. 10K Alex Wood, 9.8 to be exact, on DraftKings. This is a guy that I really, maybe it's my personal bias, I really have a hard time imagining clicking his name when I see 9.8K next to him. Here's the thing, there's two sides of this, right? Alex Wood, really good to begin the year. He's healthy, his velocity's up, but then there's the flip side, right? So his 3 good games so far against Miami at home, against Miami in Miami, and against the Rockies at home. Wheels fell off a little bit in Colorado. Not a terrible game, but only 9 DraftKings points in his start in Colorado. That was his last start. He takes on a Texas team in San Francisco that, look, we love to pick on this Texas team in the beginning of the year, but they've come alive over the last couple of weeks. In fact, against left-handed pitching, only a 22% strikeout rate and a 133 weighted runs creation plus. So it's not the cake matchup it was earlier in the year. Alex Wood is priced up. Look, I've stacked against this guy for the last 3 years. I can count on one hand the number of times I've rostered him. And the fact that he might be one of the best pitching options tonight, for sure he's going to be one of the most popular, gives me a little pause when thinking about whether or not I want to play him against the Texas team that now has some right-handed power, talking about guys that we didn't even know who they were at the beginning of the year. Adolis Garcia, Nick Solak, Charlie Culberson hit another home run yesterday. Chris Davis probably not going to be in the lineup because it's an NL Park. But then again, look at the way that 21 has played out so far. Who's thrown no-hitters? Joe Musgrove, right? Madison Bumgarner, Wade Miley. I just don't know what to do with Alex Wood. I'm thinking of leaning right now towards a fade at the 9.8K price range and a lot of popularity on this slate, but it is a low run total. We'll have to see what happens throughout the day. So if you're not a member of Run Pure Sports, you need to become a member and figure out what we're doing with Alex tonight. Let's move through this pretty quickly because from there, it gets a little bit dicey after the next pitcher, who I think I'm pretty interested in. That's Tyler Mahle. He is 9.4K, coming off of it was a terrible performance against Chicago at home a week ago on Sunday. He got bit by the long ball. I'm not as worried about the long ball, not nearly as worried about the long ball against a watered-down Pirates team that's missing several key players. Colin Moran went on the IL over the weekend. Brian Hayes has been out for a while. Brian Reynolds may or may not come back tonight. But against this lineup, I look for a rebound performance from Tyler Mahle at just 9.4K. On DraftKings, probably a pretty reasonable price, and I think you can expect at least 20 DraftKings points out of him. Moving down, Luke Weaver, 9K against Miami at home in Arizona. Even if the roof is closed, I don't think I can click 9K for Luke Weaver. It's definitely an ownership play, but he has been so just poor since his first start against Cincinnati. He did give up 6 earned runs against Miami in Miami just a week ago. So it's just a matchup that I probably am going to avoid pending what happens with lineups and who the Marlins starter is. See if it's a guy that maybe I expect the Diamondbacks to put runs up against, and maybe I can eke out a win bonus if Luke Weaver can actually stay in the game, which has been a challenge for him. Kyle Gibson, 8.6K. Here's another guy who just looks like a completely different pitcher. He had spots over the last couple of
Hey, swinging for the fences. Run Pure Sports. Guess what? I'm with DC and Nip Slip, a.k.a. D-Rock. and he's pining to take his shirt off. Let's not have that happen today. Also, Jay Leggins. He's a guy that last month won 20K. And guess what happened? He won again. And today, he is buying one of you a monthly subscription. So looking forward to that. We will be giving away a monthly subscription toward the end of the show. Looking forward to that. Simon, they're upset at you behind the scenes because you cut JT's video off. And all I can say to you guys is go to YouTube when we're done here. And all you got to do is watch JT's video. It's really not that difficult. Hit the like button too. I want 7,000 likes today. DC, what's going on, pal? It's raining here in Denver. No Rockies, Padres. So I get a doubleheader with my kid on Wednesday. I'm pretty pumped up.
That'll work. Yeah, you got tickets to Wednesday. You get both games, right? They just kind of throw the other one in there with it. Yeah. I was looking at tickets Wednesday, but the slave drivers here at Run Pure Sports, I don't know if they'll give me the day off to go to a doubleheader Rockies game. And now that I know you're going there, I won't be attending those two Rockies.
I mean, there's like going to be 15,000 people. Highly doubt we run into each other.
It's too risky, man. I mean, I'm nervous living in this multi-million person Denver metro area that we could possibly run into each other. So a 15,000 person Rockies game, that's cutting it too close. But I mean, what's going on with the weather here, man? What a crappy May we've had. I think we had more precipitation here in Colorado and Denver in 2021 already than we did in entirety of 2020. So it's been a rough spring. Hopefully summer's around the corner in a couple of days. Should be nice on Wednesday. But yeah, no complaints. Monday, ready here for a rather mundane 5-game slate, I think it's safe to say, but it's still baseball. Still excited to get after it.
We're in a drought out here, man. Just, suck it up for the rest of the people, okay? We're in a drought. We need water.
No, we're not. We're constantly in a drought. We're not in a drought right now.
D-Rock, please keep your shirt on today. How are you, my friend? What's going on? Why do you keep taking your shirt off? It's disgusting.
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, the taking the shirt off has turned in some good mojo here, and it's allowed us to pick some winners. The 2 times I've taken my shirt off on the show, both of my plays of the day went deep and won the subscribers and even everybody just watching the show for free won them some money and allowed them to cash in some tickets. So, and I didn't know I was 2 for 2 until after yesterday when Devers went deep. One of the subs in our Discord actually informed me that, the nip slip is 2 for 2 with home run calls. So yeah, whatever keeps a good mojo going. If it helps pick winners, it helps pick winners.
As Bart Lockhart said, welcome into D-Rock's personal OnlyFans page. So that's where we are, dude. Hello, everybody.
That's all good.
Yeah, I am jealous because of the D-Rock bot of Brasov. The dad bot is not in full effect anymore, so I'll try and do it. Although, you know what? A lady almost hit me in her car today, and then she called me fat. And I'm like, that's the best you got for me? I'm like, actually, I'm a little bit skinny. Anyways, let's get into the slate here. I know you said it was mundane draft cheap, but I'm actually excited about this slate. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Boston, Baltimore, Angels, Astros, no Padres, Rockies canceled here. Miami, Arizona, Texas, San Francisco. So we start with the pitching, and really it's basically one fail swoop. Who's number 1? Who's number 2? Who else is in the player pool tonight, DC?
I'm really only looking at 4 guys on this slate. For me, Alex Wood is clearly the best option. He's been really, really good to start the year, and I'm buying it. He's coming off 2 bad years in a row, but if you look at kind of what he was doing back when he was good in 2017, 2018, he's doing all those same things. The velocity is back up, the ground ball rate is back up, the zone percentage and first pitch strike rate and swinging strike rate, all that stuff looks just like it did when he was a pretty damn good pitcher for the Dodgers during those couple years. Last couple years, velocity down, ground ball rate down, couldn't get whiffs, and he just seems healthy. Has thrown, I think, 97 pitches in 2 of the last 3 games, so he's got pretty much a full workload. And then you look at what Texas is doing against lefties on the year. It's been really, really ugly for them, and that's including some bad lefties that they faced. And they still struggle. I played Martin Perez against them. He's on the slate too. He put up 20 fantasy points. Like, there's no question Wood is a way better pitcher than Perez is. Wood gets to pitch in San Francisco, a great place to pitch. So you're going to see him, I think he should be very, very highly owned, especially on FanDuel, where he's the second, highest pitcher on the slate at 8,900, is the highest pitcher on DraftKings at 9,800. But clearly number one for me, for Alex Wood. Interesting to hear if D-Rock has it the same way.
D-Rock, before we get to your pitchers, pick a number. How many likes do we have to get to give away the free subscription from Jay Leggins, the 1 month subscription? Because if we don't get a certain number, I'll give it out another time. What's the number, dude? Between 200 and 300, pick a number.
This, the Monday show's been pretty good, treated people well. So I'm gonna go 225.
Ooh, you are a generous young feller. I'll tell you that much.
All right. How about, and if
no, that's good.
No, listen, 225. But if we get to 250, then I'll also do the nip and slip play of the day at the end of the show.
All right. So we need to get between 225 and 249. This is not good, D-Rock. So listen, guys, I know we're talking about pitching. I just was reminded, D-Rock, you owe us a head shaving.
Yes,
you
I
lost
do.
the bet to DC. DC owes us a head shaving. He lost the bet to somebody else. And I lost. Well, actually, I tried to get 300 likes and I did. So I got to eat a hot dog. So we got to get this going here. Okay. We don't want bad mojo. We got to keep the good mojo. When are you shaving your head? Will you go get a razor after this? Do you have a Manscaped or anything?
I don't have a Manscaped. I know DC's got that stuff. I can definitely talk the wife and coming down here next Monday for the next Monday show and shaving my head right here on live.
A little eye candy on the show as well. I like this. This is where this is headed.
Yeah, we can get that done.
D-Rock, Draft Cheat just hit on your woman. What do you have to say about that?
That was a compliment.
Hey, when other people are hitting on my woman, that just means I did the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so D-Rock, let's do this, baby. I'm ready to go. Pitching pool. Who is it today? Because Tyler Molly's my guy.
Well, I have 4 guys also in my pool today, just like DC said. He did mention his top player was Alex Wood. It's hard to disagree with that. I mean, he's going against Texas and stuff. The ownership is going to be sky high. I'm already seeing it projecting for 60% ownership.
Yeah, I think it'll be at least that high.
Me, on the other hand, though, I am actually going to go away from Alex Wood. And I'm going to go with the Texas bats. I mean, I know it's San Francisco's a good pitcher's park, but on this small of a slate, when I can get that big of leverage on a pitcher, and Texas bats have been on fire the last 30 days. I mentioned it in my article this morning. If you haven't read that, the MLB Sluggers on the website. But my top pitcher of the day is going to be Tyler Mahle as well against Pittsburgh. He's 32% CSW on the season so far. He's got a much higher K rate than Alex Wood has got by almost 6% on the season. He's up to 30%, highest on the slate. And then my third guy is going to be DC's boy, Kyle Gibson, against San Francisco. And then I don't even mind taking a couple stabs on Luis Garcia against the Angels, but that would be my probably third option if I really need to go there. But I'm mainly looking basically for a game stack and pitchers today.
Let me ask you, D-Rock. So I get the leverage play against Alex Wood, right? He's not so good that he's like infallible pitcher that can't get roughed up. You're mostly doing it for the leverage, right? Do you think that Alex Wood is legitimately good? I mean, we have time today. We got a 5-game slate. So let's talk a little bit about that because I'm interested to hear, is it just the leverage play or do you think Alex Wood is not as good as he's shown so far?
No, I definitely think Alex Wood is, as good as he's shown so far. I don't think he might be as good as he's shown, but I don't think it's far off.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think it's far off, but the matchup against Texas, I mean, it worries me a little bit. And with the pitchers we got in the slate, like when you're paying $9,800 for Alex Wood right now, like honestly, all these pitchers you could say are kind of priced up, but everybody has to play this slate. They have to pay this price for the pitchers. And if you probably think about it, these guys are actually probably priced decent for what's on this slate. So when I can get a chance myself personally to get off a 60% owned pitcher, when I know I can get a guy like Tyler Mahle against Pittsburgh, who I think is a much better matchup than what Alex Wood has got, I'll gladly make that pivot there for $400 less. And then Kyle Gibson, he's been spectacular this year. And San Francisco is a much different team against right-handed pitching than they are against left-handed pitching. They strike out close to the top in the league against right-handed pitching so far this season. Kyle Gibson, he doesn't have the strongest strikeout stuff, but he's also pushing a 30% CSW. So I do think there is a chance for, 5 to 7 strikeouts from Gibson tonight.
Yeah.
And I think that's enough to go point per dollar with Alex Wood and even be better than Alex Wood tonight against Texas, because Texas bats, these guys are just, they're on fire right now. I mean, Adolis Garcia is on rails right now, just crushing the ball. Joey Gallo's finally he's still striking out a ton, but he's finally starting to hit it out of the park again. And it's just, and they're cheap too. And so it's not an expensive stack to where, you're going to be paying premium like you are going to be with Houston and Boston tonight. So for me, I think he's good. On DraftKings, I'm staying away from him. On FanDuel, I don't mind getting there a little bit, but that's because I really like Kyle Gibson tonight. And FanDuel has Kyle Gibson, I believe, as the top price pitcher on the FanDuel slate tonight. So I lean away from Kyle Gibson on FanDuel, and I still like Tyler Mahle more than Alex Wood tonight if I was to pick an SP1.
So this is a great conversation, first of all. And D-Rock and DC, a lot of people that watch are into the advanced stats, but CSW is swinging strike rate, right?
Swinging strike plus so it's whiffs plus called strikes.
Whips plus called strikes. All right. Just so people know, I know a lot of people in DFS, we really dig into the numbers and stuff, but just to let you know, swinging strikes plus strikes. All right. Very good. I want to bring something up that we got in the chat here. Who was that? He said that Mahle was a junk baller. Okay. Tyler Mahle, I'm not going to call him out, but Tyler Mahle is not a junk baller anymore. His velo is up higher than it's ever been on his fastball is 94.5 miles an hour. His slider's got some nasty stuff. His split finger is a nice little out pitch too. So I don't know if you've seen Mahle pitch, but I'll tell you, this guy has just been terrific so far. And then you look at some of the problems he said. What? You're going to laugh at that?
No. I'm laughing at the suggestion that he's a junk baller. Like I would go so far to say as Tyler Mahle would be better off if he had some junk balls to throw. He's like throwing like hard. You know what I mean? Like you would be better off if he had like a big slider to throw in there or a curveball or something. The junk balls, quote unquote, that he's throws a lot of fastballs, a lot of curves and split. Like he's throwing hard, so it doesn't make any sense going with junk.
He is. And listen, he had a really tough start in his last start against the Cubs. The wind was blowing out at 10 to 12 miles an hour the whole time, and the game just went bananas. So again, at this point, I'm completely bought into Mahle. I just don't know how you fade. If you're playing multiple lineups, how you fade them at all.
And this is a Pittsburgh lineup that they don't have their key rookie in Hayes right now still. And they just lost Colin Moran over the weekend as he pulled his nachos.
They got Reynolds back. They got Reynolds back today.
It's I don't see nothing enticing about it. I mean, they beat around Kyle Hendricks, but everybody's done that this year so far.
And that was also it was all in the first inning. They didn't hit a exit velo ball over 89 miles per hour in that entire first inning. It was just a bunch of seeing eye singles, ground balls up the middle, those types. It happens to every pitcher. And so I do agree with you and Mahle on the matchup. I'm not as sold on him. I don't think he's a junk baller, but just as a pitcher going forward, I still like him tonight. D-Rock, you and I have the same four pitchers, right? In some order: Wood, Gibson, Mahle, and then Luis Garcia, who we'll talk about here in a minute, because he's intriguing to me, especially in tournaments. Mahle's velocity, though, has been in decline all season long. So opening start against St. Louis, fastball velocity, a pitch that he does throw over 50% of the time in all 6 of his starts so far. So it is his primary pitch. Started out at 95.7. Since then, starting with that 95.7, 95.5, 94.8, 94.5, 94.4, 93.7. His velocity on all of his 3 pitches, the cutter and the splitter being the other 2, at a season low in that last start when he did get hit hard. I know you mentioned the wind was blowing out. That's a little bit concerning, right? It could jump back up. We see it all the time, but there's a clear trend there. And as someone who is not a junk baller, who does rely on velocity, if he loses some of that, which maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, right? But I mean, the trend is there. So that's enough for me to push him behind Alex Wood pretty confident.
Okay. Yeah, 4 starts. I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, if you want to throw the barrel thing out there, I think it's almost 10%. There was a that was my issue. He was horrible against the Cubs. I mean, he just was. Everything was going out. He was leaving balls up. But I'm all over Mahle tonight. Listen, hit that like button. Like I said, D-Rock said 225. So you only need 225 likes, and we're going to give out a monthly subscription thanks to one of our subscribers, Jay Leggins, who won another $20,000. D-Rock, weren't you saying we had two guys that were 1 and 2 last night, and one of our subscribers was running a train and the other guy was right there? What happened last night?
Yeah, I don't exactly know what was going on, but it was on the FanDuel slate. And I can't remember what the subs names were, but one of them got in the chat, and he said that he's happy something didn't happen because, well, he needed something to happen to jump a train of guys because he was in 4th place, and 1st through 3rd was all identical lineups above him. And then he realized that the train of teams was another sub in our Discord who started talking back, and so RPS finished top 4 in that, and the one guy just ended up 1st through 3rd with the same lineup.
Yeah, DC's core helped me the other day too. I'm getting close, guys. It's going to happen here sooner than later. Sometime this season, it's going down. I can't wait. But let's just keep going here. Enough of that. DC, plug your pod, please, and then we'll get into the position by position.
Yeah, we were talking. I talked with Steve Boynton yesterday. Always a good pod with him, recording on Sunday nights, and that's Monday through Friday. You'll find it in your podcast feed. You search Run for Your Sports, and you'll get my baseball talk, just previewing the day's slate, kind of a first look. And the best suggestion on how I would use it: listen in, get my perspective, get whoever the the rotating guest is, get their perspective, and then watch this show, this free YouTube show. Both shows are both, the pod and the show are both free. And especially when I have a kind of a change of heart on a pitcher or a stack or something, usually I've found something throughout the day of research that is going to be, very relevant. Maybe some other people won't have caught up on. And those things have proven to, I think, have mostly been true. Like most of my takes from the pod will still hold true on this show, but when there's a new opinion, a difference of opinion, that's when I feel kind of most confident that it could be a potential edge for DFS or gambling.
Hey, we've just talked about the pitching. I want to throw one more thing out there. The Angels are starting Junior Guerra tonight. Now, He's been throwing, an inning or two to start the game. So basically, we're looking at a bullpen game, right? And I want to get some broad stroke views on the bullpen game. D-Rock, when you look at a team like the Angels, they're going with Guerra. Do you target bullpen games? Is that something you'll be looking at tonight?
I'm personally not a fan of taking an offense against bullpen. That's just, everybody's got a different process, but part of my process over the years is I've pretty much almost is taking maybe a one-off from games like that, but I hardly ever stack up games against the bullpen because, there's just so many outs that the coach on the other side's got. He can match up lefty, righty, no matter what he wants to do throughout the game. Your batters are constantly seeing, a different pitcher. They're not getting 1 or 2 times through the order, then that third look at the same pitcher. So, I get it. Houston's got some elite bats, but that's just a spot for me to where I always feel like those games end up lower in run totals than what people project. You think a bullpen game right away, it's bad news, but I don't.
What's your take, TC?
Yeah, I don't actually disagree with that at all, but I think this is actually somewhat of a unique situation. So the Angels said they were going to start Jose Suarez, who, man, if you look at his numbers, he has just been so bad, like impossibly bad against both lefties and righties, but especially against right-handed hitters. And Junior Guerra just pitched. For one, he's not stretched out. I think he's made I think almost 12 appearances on the year.
Yeah, 1 or 2 innings.
Yeah, so he's averaging, like 1.2 innings, and he just pitched on May 8th, so 2 days ago, where he threw 30 pitches. So I think he is truly a 1-inning guy in the start, and then I assume they will go to Suarez after that, right? That would be my guess. Not a sure thing, but if you look at the Angels bullpen, I think this is their 6th or 7th game they've played in a row. It's already beat up. They've all pitched recently a ton. Their starting pitchers aren't going deep into games typically anyway. So this does look like a really good spot for the Astros to me. Most of these guys, right, can hit both righties and lefties well. They're not a team that's going to get pinch hit for out in a bullpen game. Anyone that you're going to, Altuve, Bregman, Correa, Brantley, Alvarez, Tucker, none of these guys are ever getting pinch hit for in any scenario. So yeah, I'll still stay on the Astros despite this slight change. I bet it'll be Suarez in there in the 2nd inning regardless.
Yeah, I'm trying to find more news on it too, but It's not
Yeah, this
like
was news to me. I saw the pop up and
yeah, I know, and I was just trying to find some other stuff, and I'm not seeing it. So
I got one more pitcher to throw at
yeah,
DC.
what's up?
yeah, I wanted to bring it back to Luis Garcia as well, D-Rock. So
Well,
go ahead.
I'm gonna throw one more other than him to see what you think, your thoughts on this, because I've already seen it talked up in our Discord today, and I've already seen some questions in the chat here. What's your take on Jordan Holloway tonight? Stoneman 4K.
He's the fifth guy that I'm willing to use. So I'm writing the playbook up today. That'll be out 45 minutes after this show. Listing, I think I'm going to list 5 pitchers, which is a lot for me on a 5-game slate, right? That's half of the pitchers that you could list. So Holloway, and I do want to talk a little bit about Luis Garcia after this, but Holloway, he's going to be the long man for the Miami Marlins. He pitched well in his last outing in this exact same scenario that they're using tonight, right? So one issue with using the pitcher long reliever, as they're listed, the bulk guy, whatever you want to call him, is like sometimes they don't even come into the game. If things like go awry in the first inning and then you just like take a 0. I don't think that will be the case here. And one of the big reasons why is, one, Holloway is on the full 5 days rest. And two, if Detweiler's starting, he's only going to be able to go an inning because he also pitched 2 days ago. So I do feel confident it will be him. That's the first thing. His skill set, I know he's been good so far, right? Like hasn't allowed an earned run in 10 innings. I'm not buying that, but he's clearly not awful. Did get up to 61 pitches in his last outing. So should be able to throw 60 to 70 here. Yeah, I mean, matchup's okay, I guess. Yeah, what are your thoughts there? I mean, at 4K, I don't mind it, right? Because if you want to get a full stack of the Astros and get in some other good one-offs, you can use the savings. And it's not like any pitcher on the slate is guaranteed to get 25 plus fantasy points or anything like that. So I do think he's in play if you want to go for a little bit of a different build.
All right, D-Rock, let's do this. Let's start with the positions. Position players, a catcher, obviously. And the thing I want to bring up here is that 225 likes, and we're giving away that doesn't even matter. I'll either give it away tomorrow or the next day, but we're giving away a free subscription. So it's not likes for that, but I'm not going to give it away unless we get to that number today. So there you go. Second of all, and I'm looking forward to that. Izzy in the chat saying we don't have any, wish we had NHL guy. Dude, we have tons of NHL. Our NHL guys crushed it. Back when we were on like the NBA All-Star break, I was doing shows with those guys and I won both time. I mean, Izzy, we got monster NHL stuff. And I know it's coming down to the end of the season, but I'm sure they'll be playing, doing playoffs too. So it's not just baseball, basketball, football. We got NASCAR, we got golf, we got MMA. On the bet side, my God, JJ, I'm just tailing tennis. I don't even watch tennis. I'm tailing tennis. The guy's like 10-0. All he does is win. So, things that we got everything you need at RPS. You get a chance, you win a little bit. You want to get a subscription. That's great. If you win it today, good job. All right, catcher. Let's do this. D-Rock. What's the plan of attack? Because I don't want to pay up here. I just don't see anyone that I got to pay up for.
Yeah, no, me either. I mean, if I'm gonna pay, if I'm paying down, it's gonna be a Maldonado and Kurt Suzuki tonight. If I do want to pay up, I got one guy that I really like tonight, and it's going against Gibson, but Buster Posey. I mean, Posey is just mashing right-handed pitchers. He's got I believe it's over a 400 ISO and over 500 WOBA on the season or in the last 30 days against right-handed pitching. So he would be my top spend, but I think I'm probably going to get there. I'll probably be punting with like a Maldonado or Kurt Suzuki tonight.
What do you think there, DC? I don't think we're going to have to spend a lot of time on this.
No, not many options here. No problem. No problem with Posey. I think there's a good chance you'll see Carson Kelly leading off against Detweiler. He's crushed lefties. This is a good hitter in general. So if you can pay up, it's kind of tough at 5,100, but I do think it's close between him and Posey in terms of just raw fantasy point production. My favorite spend down guy is Tucker Barnhart. I really like the Reds today against Mitch Keller. He's hit the ball hard this year. He's got like a 35% line drive rate, 3,500. So yeah, you get a little bit of a discount there, hitting 7th, but kind of an ugly position. And I think it's okay to fill this one in last and see who fits and kind of go from there.
Yeah, they were talking about in Boston. they really like Christian Vasquez, the way he's coming around. And I think a lot of that is probably pitch calling, but don't forget this guy has actually he's had double digits in 4 of 6 offensively. So he's getting going here. They're at Baltimore. It's a nice ballpark. Do you have the weather for that game, guys? That place.
I mean, it's 60, 65 degrees with, crosswind. It's fine.
All right. So it's not too much, but if you were going to pay up, to me, the pay up option is Vasquez, but I can't do it. I mean, basically for me, Barnhart, Suzuki, it's just garbage. Would you even think about Maldonado, guys?
I would if I got that much. If I got that much left, I'd throw him in there.
Yeah.
Okay. 3.1. You'd be fine with that. All right. DC first base. Let's do this, man. High price, mid price, low price. Maybe you don't have a low price or mid price. You tell me. First base pool.
I like Gurriel up top. I know Junior Guerra is scheduled to start the game now. I do prefer Gurriel against lefties, but I still bet he gets his lefty in that second at bat against Suarez. In his first at bat, rather, in the second inning. If it's the first inning, it's probably going to be with runners on guys on base with the chance to do some damage anyway. So he's my top guy, but man, a lot of places you could go here. Trey Mancini's been hitting well. I'm not a believer in Martin Perez. I know I've been on him the last 2 starts, but those were against Texas and Detroit. Not on him here against Baltimore, who does hit pretty well against lefties. Ohtani, again, I do like Luis Garcia tonight as the tournament play, but hard to go wrong with Ohtani at 4,500. He's just been so fantastic all year long. Some cheaper guys you could look at: Christian Walker, 3,600. Slow start for him, but I'm still a believer. And then if you need the savings, Bobby Dahlbeck down at 2,700 on this Boston team. He said, he has big power. Finally coming around these last couple games. Gets Jorge Lopez in the Baltimore bullpen. So I'm actually leaning in maybe punting first base. Not something I do all that often.
Wow.
Bobby Dahlbeck at 2,700. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I guess if you wanted to go up, Ohtani. Gosh, it really. You said it. I don't remember the word you said, but it was like not the greatest slate in the world. I don't think it's a bad slate, but you're right. The more I'm looking at first base, I mean, maybe it's just a stack. Whatever stack you got, throw the first baseman in there at this point. D-Rock. I mean, it's slim pickings, man.
Honestly, one of my favorite first basemen on the slate. I don't think anybody's gonna want to pay this price tag for him, and that's Jesus Aguilar of the Marlins at 4.9K tonight against Weaver, who's shown some pretty drastic reverse splits this year, giving up a 322 ISO to right-handed batters. That's probably one of my top spends. We've been talking about Garcia this whole show already, but I mean, I'm the same way. I really like Ohtani tonight against him as well. And then, I mean, I don't see myself really going down. I agree with the Dahlbeck call, but I think my main spends here will probably be with either Ohtani or Aguilar.
Yeah. I like Cincinnati a lot too, DC. And I wonder if it's them or the Red Sox that are going to be the chalk tonight. But I mean, we really don't have to worry about that with the Reds there. I don't mind that Dahlbeck call at all.
Yeah,
I think the Red Sox are going to for sure be the chalk.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, it would make sense for the Reds too, though, given the pitching matchup. And like Jesse Winker to me is almost a lock every slate. People, he's a 5K guy on DraftKings that he should be every time, and he's not. He's just murdering the baseball. Mm-hmm. It's spectacular to see. Okay, so I know Joey works in the chat, and he's my arch nemesis, and he also sells gerbils. But despite the fact he is still on fire, probably one of the best heaters I've ever seen in baseball, besides for his 6-1 run during the World Series, maybe 7-0 run during the World Series, he's crushing it. And my bankroll's up. And if you get a chance to join the bet side, if you're already a subscriber, get bets. I mean, it's too early. It's too easy, I should say. Just go get it. Sign up. $20 a month. Are you kidding me? Come on now. So I recommend it. Like I said, JJ's on a tennis heater. I don't even watch tennis. Basically, he's so hot right now. I'm just hitting it. Spread in NBA, HTP, Tyler, all these guys. I just recommend you check out the bet side. A lot of guys I know have been signing up for it lately, and I haven't heard one bad thing about it. I'll tell you that much. My boys over there on the bet side, make sure you do it. And Joey Work, the East Coast largest gerbil breeder. Wonderful to see him. D-Rock, second base. Second base. What are we doing here? Marwin is cheap. Senzel in my red stack. Is Altuve against Suarez something of a priority?
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of people are going to be going there. You know, I like spending down here at second base, though. I'm not as much. This is opposite for me compared to first base. I'd rather go with Marwin Gonzalez at 3.3K, but I'll take the even lower ownership here. And it's going to become a trend for me because I like the Marlins today. But Isan Diaz, you know, if he's in the lineup at 3.2K, I like that matchup against. I'm going to be attacking Luke Weaver like crazy tonight, and I think he's showing some chalk. At 9K is just crazy for him when he hasn't had double-digit fantasy points in I don't even know how long. So I'm glad to attack that with Miami bats. So give me some Diaz or give me Marwin.
Well, the problem with Weaver is he's just getting shelled early on, and then he kind of slows down. But,
I mean, I guess a middle of the one I like too is Nick Solak. I don't mind that either.
Nick Solak. I mean, the Marlins just killed me yesterday. Like, how do you trust their offense? Yeah. And Aguilar wasn't in there against a lefty, which was surprising, but still, the Marlins offense, DC, the Marlins offense, as much as I see them in great spots, I feel like they burn me too much, and that shouldn't have any bearing on anything going forward. But what's your thoughts on the Marlins? And then give us your second base player pool.
Yeah, Marlins they're kind of, I don't want to say overpriced because I'm not a Luke Weaver believer, and the matchup's fine. Obviously, the park's good and all that stuff. So yeah, they're good. I do like the Isan Diaz call. I do like the Marlins in general as kind of a contrarian stack. I think they'll be, I don't know, fourth or fifth highest stack on the slate, which is a pretty good spot against a pitcher we don't believe in. So yeah, Diaz is a good call. Right around there, right? Diaz is 3,200. Marwin Gonzalez leading off for the Red Sox against Lopez. I think he'll be the most popular guy at 3,300. Not the most exciting play in the world, right? Not much power or speed. You kind of need a couple hits to get there, maybe an RBI run. Like, he's fine. And then Nick Senzel is at 3,100. So three guys clustered right around that low 3K range. Senzel, I keep waiting for him to get going. It's been a rough run for him to start the year, but the Reds have a good offense and they have a lot of options. So they could lead off Winker and move Senzel down to the 6 or 7 hole if they wanted to. The fact that they're continuing to put him leading off, even against a same-handed pitcher, they're a smart organization, and the numbers, the metrics for Senzel look pretty good. So I do. He's
leading off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that they're leading him off, you can put some trust into that they think he's a good hitter, and the metrics kind of show that he is. Tough run for him, but he will get it going sooner rather than later, I think. Nick Solak, if you want to go against the chalk wood, is a good choice. And then I do think the top option, although he does take a blow with Suarez not actually starting the game, Jose Altuve, I still think a really good option up top.
Okay. All right, guys, 225 likes is the goal today. D-Rock is feeling very merciful. Also, our subscriber, John, well, we got more than one, but Jay Leggins is giving away a monthly subscription today. So we'll give that away before the end of the show. Looking forward to doing that, as it's all about the good mojo here. Guys win, and I can't imagine another place out there where you've got so many subscribers so happy with the content because they're winning that they're paying it back and giving free subs out. It's absolutely remarkable. I've never been a part of anything like this. It's just terrific. And I've done some pretty cool things, but this is probably my favorite job ever. It's so much fun being around you guys, winners, DFS, bet side too. It's amazing. All right, enough of the mushy stuff, DC. Let's get right into third base. Bregman, Devers, the big guys today. Is that where you're going, or can we look down more in the upper 3K range?
Devers is clearly the top option here. I mean, I think he was in all of our cores yesterday on the site on Sunday. Delivered a big game, 23 DraftKings points. I think he homered. Was it his first at bat? I think it might have been.
Yeah, first at bat.
Yeah, he's just been on fire. Gets a great matchup against Jorge Lopez. I mean, what else do you really want? So Devers, I think the top dog for me. Bregman not too far behind. I do prefer Devers over Bregman if I can get that extra $200 in savings. Other guys that I like, Mike Moustakas at 3,800, I think, is a fantastic play. I'm very, very high on the Reds against Mitch Keller, who I think is he's coming off of like one of the most fluky, good on paper starts that I've ever seen when you look behind the metrics on that one. So very high in the Reds. I think regression's coming to Mitch Keller. And then if you need a savings, Michael Franco, I think, is a good option at 3,200. I like the Orioles tonight too against Perez. I think, both teams in that Boston-Baltimore game going to do some damage.
AP Indy, what up? Liked and subscribed. What's up, buddy? Good to see that. Welcome to the RPS team. All right, D-Rock, let's go down the rest of this position here at third base.
So for me, it's clear cut. Rafael Devers, he's my top stud of the day in my MLB Sluggers article on the site today. He made us a lot of money yesterday, but that don't matter today. But I could see him going yard again tonight against Lopez. Mike Moustakas is my favorite play in the lower range. I mean, it's not really too low with 3.8K, but still below 4,000. I like him tonight against Keller. And then I only got one other guy in my pool, and that's Eduardo Escobar at 4.8K if you're looking to spend just a little bit lower than Devers there.
Okay, that was pretty simple. Third base, Dunsky. We'll move on to the shortstop position now. So if we're going Devers and you like the Red Sox, I guess you're going Bogarts at 5.4K. There's got to be some other options, though, DC. There's got to be some other options. If you're paying up with Wood and Molly and you want Devers, I don't know how you, I guess you can because there's a lot of cheap bats, but Bogarts tonight, how do you jam him in the lineup? Do you even want to jam him in your lineup?
You can afford him, yeah. I do think it's close between he and Carlos Correa. For me, that would kind of depend on, in that individual lineup build, do I have more Astros or do I have more Boston Red Sox? And that would kind of be my decision there, make my decision for me rather, between Bogarts and Correa. Josh Rojas has really been turning it on. We'll see where he hits in the lineup. If it's, fourth or fifth, should get that second at bat, mostly against the right-hander for the Marlins, Holloway. So, yeah, he's, I think, a kind of a sneaky option at 4,400. Freddie Galvis, do prefer him a little bit against right-handed pitchers, but 3,600, no problem there against Martin Perez. So, yeah, mostly those four guys, I would say. Bogarts, Correa, Rojas, and Galvis is kind of where I'm looking.
Okay. We are down to the outfield position then. Hold on one sec. Let's just go back to Galvis real quick because I've been playing him a lot. Remind me which handedness we want him facing in order to be the option.
Well, Big T is very convinced he can only hit from the left side of the plate. Numbers say a little bit differently. I haven't
So it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, to answer your question, like, if you're watching the show, you probably think he can only hit from the left side. I'm saying, I'm not so sure myself. I'm willing to use him against. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Okay. On the year, small sample size. Yeah. Versus righties, he's got a 371 WOBA versus lefties 350. So far he has been better against righties. Shout out to Big T.
Way to go, Big T.
But he's actually just been good in general. So there you go.
20 games.
I got two more shortstops though that DC didn't mention.
Yeah, there you go.
Go at Cincinnati again with Suarez at 4.5K.
Sure, yeah, of course.
I like him tonight. He'll probably get some low ownership. And then going back to Texas, here comes the first pronunciation of the day.
Oh, here we go.
Kiner Falefa.
Kiner Falefa.
Yeah.
Kiner Falefa.
Not as bad as some of yours.
Not falafel. Not Kiner falafel.
I was really hoping that DC was going to
Falafel.
mention him. Yeah, I was really hoping DC was going to mention him, so I didn't have to try saying
I purposely didn't. I wanted to leave him to you. I knew you were on the Texas bats. I knew you'd mention them if I didn't. So that's, yeah.
But at 4K, I really like that against Wood tonight. And he's got stolen base upside. I like that play tonight.
I'd love for you to continue to call him Kiner Falafel. Please do that. That would be the most wonderful thing ever.
Falafel.
It was really good. Yeah. Just call him Kiner Falafel. I think that's wonderful. And you can't screw that up. You can't screw it up. It's very easy to say it. Okay, guys, we'll get to outfield now. But remember, some lucky viewer or listener is going to win a free monthly subscription here at the end of the show, which is coming up not too far from now. So we'll figure out how to get that subscription out there. 225 likes is the goal from D-Rock. DC, let's get to the outfield. We did talk about Senzel. Again, love the Reds. The Red Sox look like they're out there too. I just need your whole outfield pool because for me, there's one other guy, Tyler Naquin. This will be in my Cincinnati stack and maybe even a one-off. He's 2.9 on FanDuel. He's 3.9 on DraftKings, and he's facing a righty, and I love that. It's my favorite.
I love this whole Cincinnati outfield. Naquin, Winker, and Senzel. You play all three guys in there. As far as I'm concerned, I'll probably do that on a couple lineups myself. I do rank them Winker, Naquin, Senzel, even though Senzel is leading off. I prefer the lefties there, but all three guys I think are excellent plays. Plenty of spend-up options, I think kind of as always in the outfield, sitting right there at the top, Trout, Castellanos, JD Martinez. I mean, you can't really go wrong with any of those guys. It would just be kind of depend on, the lineup construction of that particular team. Like if I have a bunch of Boston, I want to fit JD. If I'm stacking Cincinnati, give me Castellanos. And, if I don't have Garcia in my lineup, give me Mike Trout. I guess Mike Trout, the least of those guys for me, but I mean, it's Mike Trout, so whatever. Jordan Alvarez, he's just been on fire recently. Like, man, I've been kind of banging the drum for him all year long. People think of him as a power hitter. This man's got a 362 batting average. He's just insane. So right or lefty, it doesn't matter. He can hit both. He's going to get great matchups all game long from the Angels, whoever they roll out there. So Jordan Alvarez, another top guy, above 5K. The other Houston outfielders, Brantley and Kyle Tucker. Tucker kind of got off the schneid yesterday with a big game, 3,300. He's got a lot more big games coming soon. So he's fantastic. Adolis Garcia, just crushing it, especially lefties. He gets Alex Wood, but great leverage there, right? Against for sure, the highest owned pitcher on this slate. So a lot of different ways you can go here.
Garcia's been going bananas too.
Yeah, yes.
Seriously. It's like you're just riding the hot streak there, which is not the worst thing in the world.
No, nothing wrong with that.
To do. So
DraftKings isn't even pricing them up.
Let me ask you about two guys, D-Rock. They're kind of middling guys on DraftKings. Naquin is facing a righty tonight. That's a platoon guy for me. He's always in the mix. And then Brian Reynolds is coming back for the Pirates. And if you're not going with Molly, would you at least consider rolling him out there coming off a couple of days where he missed because of lower body soreness?
I mean, I don't hate it, especially against these top pitchers are all going to have so much ownership tonight that really, for me, if whichever one is not in your lineup, like I don't mind looking and getting another bat from the team they're facing. I mean, you don't have to go full stack them against them, but I don't mind getting a one-off against that pitcher that you're going to end up fading tonight. So I don't mind Reynolds if you want to one-off him just for a little bit of leverage, but it's not something that I'm actually like looking to force into my lineups tonight.
Okay.
And then, I mean, yeah, I'm with you with Naquin. I love Naquin when he's facing right-hand batters. But I mean, I like all of Cincinnati, just like DC was mentioning. Some guys down low, I'll keep it with Texas. I mean, Willie Calhoun, even though it's a lefty-lefty matchup, I don't think he'll see any ownership because of that, but he's only 3.3K. And like me, I'm planning on paying up for pitching a little bit tonight, so I'm going to need these value bats. And then also down here, you got Hunter Renfroe of Boston. I'm thinking he might be a little bit chalky, but he's only 3K tonight. And then I also like Justin Upton, with the righty-right matchup against Garcia. He's under 3K tonight. And then a Stone Min guy again on DraftKings at 2.0K is Franchi Cordero.
Franchi.
In Boston. I mean, I don't mind that play at all. And then one of my middle tier favorite plays is Adam Duvall of Miami, 4.2K against Weaver. And then, I mean, DC already pretty much mentioned the top tier. And it's hard to go against, like we were saying, with Mike Trout and JD. And then, I really like Nick Castellanos tonight. Righty matchup. I think a little bit of people to stay away from there.
All right, good. I like it. We are through the outfield. We're through the oh, look, JSU is in the chat. He won again yesterday. Wonderful. Good job, JSU.
Surprise.
He's like, I don't even like baseball. I don't even play baseball. Like, dude, you already hit like 3 times this year. Relax. Oh, and he and I do the premium show Up to Lock, the final countdown every day, 45 minutes before tip-off. The season's coming to an end, but I think we're definitely doing some playoff stuff too. But That would be what, 6:45 today, because the games start at 7:30. So hanging out with me and JSU, we'll put him on a couple phone books. You'll be able to see him on the camera, and then that'll be wonderful. It really is the only thing we can make fun of him about, because he just wins too much. There's just nothing else to make fun of him. Maybe it's like his girlish voice or his awful haircut, but besides for that, it's pretty tough. So let's do this, guys. Stacks before we get to our plays of the day. DC, the Reds, you and I are on them. Who else besides for the – actually, you know what? Since we like the Reds, give me a little core of Reds who really stand out to you. Maybe 4 guys, your 4 favorite Reds tonight.
I do lean the lefties. So Winker, Naquin, and Moustakas, the 3 that I want. But I like all 7 of the guys down to the catcher, Tucker Barnhart, to be honest. Like, I just like all their whole team. So
anybody else besides the Reds you want to throw out?
Yeah. The Astros, I think, are way up there. I think I'll be interested to see the ownership between the Astros and the Reds. And then I think Boston will be the chalk. Can't argue with that. Another sneaky one, I think the Orioles are in a pretty good spot too.
All right. D-Rock, let's hear it.
I'm with you guys on Cincinnati and Boston tonight. And then my other 2, which I've pretty much been touting all show so far, Miami. I mean, I wouldn't go full stack them, but, I do like a little mini stack, 2 to 4 guys from there. And then my favorite one of the day, which again was mentioned in my Sluggers article this morning, the Texas Rangers, starting with Kiner Falefa.
Kiner Falafel. Just call him that. You're fine.
Have
you heard of Ralph Kiner? Let me ask you, have you heard of Ralph Kiner? One of the greatest baseball players ever.
Yeah.
Ralph Kiner.
Falefa. But I'd be building that stack around Adolis Garcia.
Okay.
I do like a 4-man stack there with Texas tonight against Wood if you're not playing him.
I mean, is Garcia a stack player only, or can you one-off him?
Yeah, you can definitely one-off Garcia tonight.
All right, good. Yeah. Love me some Garcia. That's tremendous. All right, Mom's Basement play of the day. Let's do it. He's apparently no longer in his mom's basement, but maybe you've got a house with one. Who is it, DC?
Mom's Basement play of the day. We've talked about him a lot. I don't want to steal Holden's, and I feel this might be Holden's. So I'm gonna pivot.
Okay. Was Naquin your guy?
I'm gonna throw you a rare bone.
Okay.
I'm going back to my guy Jordan Alvarez. Just been on fire recently.
Okay.
What can you say about the man? He's crushing it. And now I think his first inning at bat may come against a righty. I bet it will with Junior Guerra on the hill. So Jordan Alvarez, and we'll see if I'm right about who I think you're going to pick.
477 watching, 215 likes. I mean, that's kind of
we're
weak.
Gonna make it, maybe.
We will. D-Rock.
You thought 225 was being generous.
D-Rock, this is why you never go low. Like, if you set it at 300, you're getting at least 250. But you know what? That's fine. We do have a free subscription to give out today. So that's all I'll say. I don't even know Mia Khalifa. Fresh dollar bill. That's so funny. She's a big Wizards fan, so I see her all the time. Not as good looking in person. So D-Rock, what are we calling your play? What is it called?
The Nips and Tats play of the day.
This is offensive. What is it?
Well, I said they need to get to 250 lights for the Nips and Tats to actually show off. So I guess
all right, don't do it then.
Yeah, we have to just
Don't
roll
do
it.
it.
We'll just give them the play, but keep your shirt on. Everybody's a winner.
Yep, exactly. So my play of the day today is going to be Adam Duvall.
Woo.
Outfielder,
right.
Miami Marlins. I've been refreshing like crazy to see if I can get some home run prop on him. But so far they don't have home run props up for that game. But when they do come out, I will be betting him to hit the home run tonight.
Okay. Edibles play of the day. Let's do it. I can't see the thing. Did Simon take the beer out? Because I don't drink. And that bothers me a little bit. It bothers me. I don't drink, Simon. So give me a break. Edibles play of the day. Was it going to be Tyler Naquin for you, DC? Because
yes.
That's the guy.
Yes, you got
Naquin.
it. I knew it.
He's got 6 home runs from that left side. It's just amazing. Like, if I could play Galvis and Naquin tonight, I'm winning some money. That's all I'll say. So I'll get those 2 guys in. Maybe that'll be my lineup, and then throw some Reds in there too. But Tyler Naquin, we're coming off a Friday show with Josh Bell going deep, so I'm going to try and make it 2 in a row. And DC's already on this play, so I'm feeling really good about it. Maybe hit that home run prop too. All right, we got the 225. How about this? If you do not, the beer is out. Simon, you're the best. I always say you're the best anyways, but I love you, man. Thank you. So here's the deal. Right now, if you do not have a subscription, if you're not a subscriber, A, shame on you. B, say not a subscriber. And then do you have the chat up, DC, per chance?
No, I don't actually.
Okay. D-Rock, do you have the chat up?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So how about this? They're going to write not a sub, and I want you to pick one person out that says not a sub. Also, DC, one more time, make sure you pub your podcast because every morning it's out talking baseball, man.
Yeah. Wherever you listen to your podcast, just search Run Pure Sports. You'll find that feed. It'll be out for you bright and early for your commute to work or your morning walk, whatever it may be. Monday through Friday, me and the rotating cast of characters from Run Pure Sports, talking baseball anywhere between 30 minutes if I get Steve Boynton, or 2 hours and 30 minutes. Uncle T comes on and he won't shut up and he's keeping me up late at night. So yeah, check it out. Good baseball talk every single morning, Monday through Friday.
Can you do a good Uncle T impersonation? Are you an impersonation guy or no?
I'm not, but okay. I need to, now that you mentioned that, next time I am on a pod or show with him, I'll take some notes and I'll have it for you.
Boy, do I love me some Uncle T. I miss him. We did our pod during the football season. I can't wait till football season again, so I get to hang out with him and G Rison. All right, D-Rock, who is our winner? First of all, thank you to Jay Leggins. He thanked us for being a subscriber and then hitting 220+ K hits. He did it again. He wants to give back to you. So let's do it, buddy. D-Rock, pick out one name for a free monthly subscription.
I feel like we don't have as much of a female crowd in the Discord. So I think we should grow that up a little bit.
Yes.
So I did pick one out, and it's Samantha Haller.
Okay, Samantha Haller. Now, the other thing you need to know this. I'll just say this. There are some wily gentlemen out there, and they use their wife's account. But I think I've seen Samantha in there before, so I'm fine with that. You have too, DC?
Yeah, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt, Samantha. Congratulations. Here's what you need to do. Hit up info@runpuresports.com and say you won the free sub. info@runpuresports.com and the free sub. Really quick, I just want to ask you guys questions real quick. Number one pitcher tonight is who, DC? Who's your number one guy?
Alex Wood would be the guy I prioritized in cash games. Number one GPP pitcher, he'll be in my main GPP lineup, is Luis Garcia.
Okay. Woo! D-Rock. Who is it, man? Who's the number one pitcher tonight?
Tyler Mahle, my number one pitcher tonight. And then I'm with DC for the GPP pitcher, Luis Garcia.
Okay. Do you think Garcia is going to be popular then?
No, I don't.
No. All right. So sub 10% on a small slate.
I'd say sub,
just because there's so few options, but he's going to be way lower than the other quality pitchers.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, guys, great show. Don't forget, check us out, Run Pure Sports, RPS Heater 25% off your first payment. Thanks to Jay Leggins for giving away the subscription. And guess what? He told me to give another one away. So later in the week, probably on the basketball show, we also got to figure out a time for DC to shave his head, D-Rock to shave his head. And then while they're doing that, I'll just eat a hot dog and everybody can talk about that as I puke. It's going to be disgusting. So that's it. Simon, great work behind the scenes. Stick around. We've got the Wood Show coming up next, talking some hoops. And then every day for subscribers, me and JSU leading up to Hoops Lock, 45-minute before tip. For DC, D-Rock, and Simon, I'm Holden. Keep running pure.
Seasons where you could use him, but really outside of his opening day dud against Kansas City, he's just been lights out. Looked like a potential ace. He has been the ace of that staff. My one concern here is the first place San Francisco Giants have a lot of left-handed hitters, have a lot of left-handed power hitters. So I don't know yet what I'm going to do with Kyle Gibson, but he is definitely in the mix just because of how well he's pitched this year at a really honestly surprising rate of performance. Mitch Keller, no thank you. Luis Garcia, possibly against an Angels team that is going on the road. We've heard some teams talk about how difficult they find it to play in the park in Houston. Of course, the Blue Jays didn't have much of a challenge this weekend. Luis Garcia, the only concern with him, 8.4K. He really hasn't gone past the 5th inning. A lot of 4.2, 4 2/3 innings, a lot of 5 inning, maybe even a 3 2/3 inning performance this year. So 8.4 is right at the height of the price that I would want to play him. And the Angels team really doesn't strike out enough for me to get excited about Luis Garcia. Martin Perez, 7.3K against the Baltimore Orioles. No, not at that price. Jorge Lopez, not at any price against the Red Sox. Red Sox are actually one of my favorite offenses tonight. Dinelson Lamet, if that game was going to play, I can't play him right now because he pitched 2 innings in his first game back. He's on a pitch count and an inning count. So I expect if that game plays, he's only going 3 or 4 innings. And then we get to Jordan Holloway, Antonio Senzatella, who again in that game in Colorado may or may not play. And Jordan Holloway may or may not be the opener for the Marlins. Jose Suarez may or may not be the opener or the pitcher of record for the Angels. So I don't know that I'm going to go to the Angels or the Marlins pitchers on this slate. I'm going to have to make some decisions. We all are. And that's why if you're not a member, you need to come and join and figure out who we're going to be using tonight to get to the top of the leaderboards. Now, offense for me is pretty simple tonight. I may look for one-offs in some of these other games, but primarily I'm going to be very interested in the Boston Red Sox against Jorge Lopez. I actually think because of the situation in Houston, depending on what happens in the Colorado game, I think these Boston Red Sox bats may go a little bit under-owned. And I'm very interested in a guy who hit a home run yesterday, Rafael Devers. Once he gets hot, he usually stays hot for 7 to 10 days. It's a great matchup against Jorge Lopez, who gives up roughly between 3 and 4 home runs per 9 innings over the course of a season. I expect Boston to get to him. I'll add Alex Verdugo to that list as well from the left side of the plate. And then, of course, on the right side, you always are going to like to add guys like Xander Bogaerts and JD Martinez to your stacks. And Frenchie Cordero has been hitting the ball actually quite well. He's the stone minimum on DraftKings, just 2K. The other offense I like, doesn't matter if it's Felix Pena or if it's Jose Suarez starting for the Angels. I know the Astros are going to be popular. They should be popular given who the Angels are going to start and the Angels bullpen, which has really been one of the worst in Major League Baseball. A lot of guys hurt, a lot of fill-in pitchers, and that means a lot of runs and a lot of home runs for the opposing team. The Astros are priced up, but honestly they should be, and I have no problem paying the prices, the 5K prices for Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman. Yordan Alvarez, we've talked about this, he really doesn't care. You're a left-handed pitcher, you're a right-handed pitcher, he's going to hit a home run off you. He's going to hit the ball hard. So Boston Red Sox, Houston Astros, I like Tyler Mahle at pitcher. Hey, like this video, subscribe to our YouTube network, the Run Pure Sports YouTube network. That does it for Monday, May 10th, JT's Bang Bang Plays of the Day. Get in our Discord and see what the decisions we make for our lineups this Monday night. Good luck!